Guys, welcome to the second video. In this video, I'm going to talk about identifiers. So, what is identifier? Identifier is just a name we can use to identify anything on your code. It can be class name, method name, variable name, label name, spaces name. It can be anything. So, I'm going to write a code using system. Using system, the name system is for identify a namespace. So this is a name we can use to identify a namespace. And I'm going to create a class test. Now here you can see this is a class. The name of this class is test. And then I'm going to create a method static void main. This is a method. The name in. Forget about all those things class, static, void, using. These are keywords. I will teach you all those things later. Since this is about identifiers, just try to understand what I'm saying. And I'm going to create a variable string name is equals to btech in software. Console.writeLine. Now, now what I'm doing here, I'm going to print the message btech in software in my console, see if it is working or not. It says there was a build error. The problem here is it's not using, it is using. Now it will be fine. If I run this code, it should work. Btech in software using system. Now this is namespace. You can see if you have this name, you can see it says namespace system. The name of this namespace is system, and then here is it says class test. So this is a class. The name of this class is test, and this is a method. The method name is main, and this is a variable, string type variable. The variable name is name. So why we need these identifiers? We need identifiers to identify elements in our code. Why it is important? In our code, there can be so many namespaces, so many classes, so many methods, so many variables. To identify all those things individually, uniquely, we need to use unique identifiers. So, to define identifiers, there are so many rules. Around 7 rules are there. So, let's go through all the rules. Now, before that, I'm going to tell you how to write a comment. Using double slash, we can write a comment. Rules for identifiers. If I use double slashes before what I'm going to write, the program treat it as a comment. It will not run by the compiler. Now if I run this code, it will work fine. If I remove these double slashes, it will give me an error. Now you can see it will give an warning here. So this is how you write a comment. This is single line comment. If you want to ignore something more than one line, you can use multi-line comment. To write a multi-line comment, you can use slash star and star slash. Between these two, we can write multi-line comment. If you have more than one line to comment, you can use this multi-line comment. The first rule is, now let's talk about identifier rules. Rules for identifiers. In that, the first rule is we can use A to Z characters to define variables. Now you can see I'm going to use simple characters to define identifiers, and then second rule is we can use capital A to Z, capital A to Z characters to define variables. If you want, you can write it like this: name, and here also it should be capital. I'm going to change the message here. It says hi. It will give me the message hi. And the third rule is we can use 0 to 9. 0 to 9 numbers to define identifiers. Along with that third rule, we have the fourth rule. We can't use identifiers as a first digit. So the fourth rule is identifiers should not start with digits. Let's check those rules are correct or not. We can use 0 to 9 numbers. Name 1. Here also it should be name 1. Uh, identifiers. Identifiers with numbers. So it is working. Number NA 90 ME. I'll copy it and paste it here. This time the message is identifiers. It should work according to the rules. Identifiers is working. Now the fourth one is identifiers should not start with digits. Now if I put 1 here, if I put 1 here, it will give me an error. Identify expected, so it will give me an error. The fifth rule is there's no length limit to define an identifier. See if it is true or not. The rule is actually true or not. There's no length limit to define a identifiers. If I run this, it should work according to the rules. And then guys, if you want, you can use underscore symbol to define a identifier. Let's run this code, see if it is rule is there or not. No. And then we can't use reserved word as identifiers. So what are the reserved words? There are keywords here in programming languages. Those are reserved to represent some meaning, represent some functions inside those programming languages. Let's say it's string. String is a data type. So static is a keyword, void is keyword. Now you can see class is a keyword, using is a keyword. There are so many keywords are reserved to represent some meaning and some functionality. Those reserved words we can't use as identifiers. If we use them, we will get errors. If we use this keyword, we will get an error. However, it says identifier expected. It didn't treat this static word as identifier because it is keyword. Now, if I add another character here, it will treat it as a identifier because you can see statica. I put A after this C. So now it is treated as an identifier. It says local variable string statica. Now it is working without showing any error. If I remove this A, it says identifier expected. It will give me an error. It says there were build errors. Would you like to continue and run the last successful build? If I say yes, it will give me the last successful build, not this one. We talked about 6 rules. We can use A to Z, capital A to Z, 0 to 9. If you use numbers, we can't use those as a first digit. For identifiers, there's no length limit. And we can't use reserved words. So you no need to by heart all those rules. Just use simple string. You can use just some meaningful words to define identifiers. It will be fine. Just use names. If it is 2 words, you can use camel case like this. First name. The first word is simple and then second word is starting with the capital letter. This is known as a camel case. You can use camel case.